welcome back for another 15-minute stretch flow. Nothing special here today. We're just going to be moving the body in all different directions. I've got my timer on, set to 15 minutes, so let's get started. Take yourself down to the floor, tabletop today, and you're just going to allow yourself to settle into the mat through your hands and through your knees and through the top of your feet, allowing the ankle joints to be soft, the pelvis to be lifted up to the ceiling, feeling the front body float up to the back body, and then everything widens and spreads up to the ceiling and out. Like we've got a really big X we're creating in space. We're going to allow our sternum to find the front of us, to find our sit bones pointing up to the ceiling, and then our eyes and head taking ourselves up to the ceiling, and then reversing that, taking the belly button up, dropping the sit bones to the floor, dropping the head, pressing the shoulder blades up to the ceiling, into your cat, and now allowing that pelvis to roll on top of the femurs, lengthening the spine in the opposite direction, shoulder blades down and back. Find yourself rolling into a cat. And then finding yourself in tabletop. Tuck your toes, send your sit bones to the ceiling, pedal out those feet, drop your head. Nice and gentle. We're going to take our right leg into a high lunge. We're going to rock it back and forth. So back and forth, not pressing too far back, just getting a little bit of that seesaw action into place. See if we can allow our pelvic halves to be equal with the floor. Again, feeling that the front fasciae is coming up to the back and then widening out to the side. And drop your knee, untuck those toes, take your body up. Feel the pelvis lifting up off the femurs, the femur head rolling in that left leg, and then the leg that's that's on the floor, the foot that's on the floor, the leg that's up. Feel that femur head rolling in the hip socket so that you can find yourself a little bit deeper, even if it's a millimeter. Take your eyes to the ceiling, take your sternum up, feel expansion in the back, drop those shoulder blades down and back, and then ripple forward. Do it again. Inhale, widen the back space, open up to the ceiling from the back and the front, and ripple forward again. And breathe in, widen back space, front space, up to the ceiling. And again, really feel like you have hands from underneath you, from behind you, lifting and spreading you up. And take it all the way down as far as you can. So if that's hands, cool. If that's on your forearms, amazing. If you need to come up into a high lunge, cool, stay there. Be wherever you're comfortable. You can turn that front leg out a little bit and rock it side to side, allowing your head to curve, and then extending it out in line with the spine, and then curving it again, like flossing the tissue here, flossing the nerves in the upper thoracic spine and neck, drawing those shoulder blades down, and pressing yourself up, turning that front leg parallel again. Tuck your toes, send your sit bones to the ceiling. Release your quads. Feel the stretch come from underneath the feet. Feel the feet spreading. And then you're widening yourself behind you, taking those sit bones up to the ceiling and allowing your spine and head to fall into the floor. Bend the front knee, step your 2 feet together, roll up like a rag doll, and then ripple back down, and then roll up. And then release, ripple down. One more. Widening the pelvis, letting the femurs go, letting the knees bend, letting the ankle bend. Take your right leg to the back, rock it back and forth in a high lunge. Getting some movement. Feeling the knee glide, feeling the ankle bones glide, rocking in the pelvis. Good. Drop the knee down, untuck the toes, take your trunk up, your rib cage up. Again, pelvis off the legs. Femur falls down. Allow the front femur to roll and see if you can get a little bit deeper in that stretch. If you need support at all, remember that you can use chairs and blocks to support you. It's all about going just a little bit into the movement. Even if you think you're not moving, can you release in your mind? Can you allow the tissues to just let go just a bit more? Widen the back. Take back body and front body up to ceiling. Find high release and ripple forward. Looking at the floor again. Widen back, widen front, and then bring it forward. Opening up the back of the pelvis, the back of the lumbar, back of the ribs. And last one. Breathing in. And exhale. Take yourself down as far as you can. Turn out that front leg. Soften the front body, the full front net. Soften it towards your back. Then allow that to support you behind you. Wherever you feel tension, can you allow that fascia that's maybe bunched up like a fishnet? Can you just allow it to release and go back to sliding, creating space between the nets? Good. Press yourself up. Turn that foot in. Tuck those toes. 2 legs straight. Making a triangle. Rock it side to side. Feel all those fibers. As you're moving, you're falling. We move and we fall. We move and we fall. Feeling the feet fall into the floor. Feeling the heels fall into the floor. Taking the stretch from underneath the feet all the way up the legs. Taking the sit bones up off the pelvis and shining them to the ceiling. And then allowing pelvis, ribs, spine, organs to fall down the leg. Let the head go, let the ears go. Good. Bend the front leg. Take the back foot to meet. Roll up. Widen the back to high release to ripple through. And again, high release. Femurs bend, knees bend. And again, femurs don't bend, they roll. Femurs roll, knees glide, ankles glide. Step all the way back. High plank. We're going to take ourselves into a pigeon, so right knee forward. Allow yourself to come down. And just rock it back and forth. Feel where you are today. Good. Find your high plank again. Switch it out. Drop the leg. Rock it back and forth. Moving and gliding and sliding. Letting go of everything. Out into space. So when we let go, we don't drop down. We release out. So you're still feeling light everywhere. Feeling our body expanding into the space around us. Find the high plank. Bend the knees, shift it into a downward dog. If it's available to you, you're going to reach your right hand to your left ankle. And if you can grab it, look up. Or you're just going to reach as far as you can. Or you're going to stay in downward dog. You can pedal the feet here. And then float the hand back. Feel that expansion into space. Release the left, reach it for the right. Take it through and pedal it out. Keep pressing that right arm into the floor. And find hand folding back. Pedal it out. Walk hands and feet together into the middle of the mat. Roll yourself up. Taking left knee down, right knee. I'll face you for this. I'm going to go into a side lean. So taking left dropping the left hip, reaching the left hip away from you, finding the arms reaching on that diagonal. Feel the stretch from the pelvis up and over, and then the pelvis down. Pressing this knee out, you can turn out the leg if you'd like for a little bit more stability, or have a nice wide stance. Just don't let that knee drop in. Keep it out. Reach on the diagonal. Feel your back space filling up and then rolling. So I want you to go into that stretch again. And then as you find yourself on the diagonal, puff up your lower back with air, with space, and allow yourself to fall forward, supporting the movement from your back. And again, drop the shoulders, reach up and over. If you can, take a little twist up to the ceiling and over. And switch it out. Right arm up. Send those right hips out to the side and down. Take from the crest of the pelvis up and over. Find the twist. Fill up the back space. Fall forward. And roll it up. And again, up, release, send, twist, keep reaching, and up. Allow the elbow to be straight. Allow the fingertips to reach. Allow the stretch to come all the way from the pelvis. And up. Good. Coming down to all fours. Shifting hips side to side. My knees are together. Getting a little hip dip here. Good. You're going to keep your knees in line with your hips, so just open them up a bit. You're going to walk your hands out into a child's pose, but your hips are going to be up. So I think this is called like dolphin something, but I used to sleep like this like a kid, so sit bones up to ceiling, hands stretched out. Feel those shoulder blades widen away from each other. And keep the ears separate from the shoulders. So even though our shoulders are reaching, they're dropped and away from the ears. And then allow yourself to fall into a child's pose from here. You can open up your legs a little bit more if it feels more comfortable to you. And I want you to soften the front of your body into your back body. I want you to feel like I'm behind you, pressing your sit bones towards your heels. And one hand is on your sacrum and the other hand is lengthening your spine away from the sit bones. You might have to shift your hands to allow that space to occur. Roll up like a rag doll. You're going to soften the front. You're going to take the abdominals back and up, back and up, back and up. Feeling your spine lengthen in all directions. So down and away, up and away, and out to the side. Take a little shoulder roll. I'll face you again. Do a little neck stretch. So take both hands on the sternum. Press your elbows down. Press your clavicles down. Open your mouth. Look up to the ceiling. Drop those shoulders away from those ears. Close your mouth. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Roll it up. Again, open mouth. Look up. Close. Left to left. Chin to chest. And up. Take your arms. Take your right over to your left ear. Open up the front of the chest. Allow there to be weight in the elbow, directing left side down. Keeping space between shoulders and ears. Drawing the head on a diagonal. Letting go. Rolling chin to chest. And come up. Other side. So, open up those shoulder blades and chest. Weight in the elbow takes you over. Release the shoulders from the ears. Direct the other side down. Find your chin coming onto a diagonal with your armpit. Releasing your hand from head. Chin to chest. Coming up. The last thing we're going to do, I'm going to face my mat. You're going to press your chest forward. Take your sit bones behind you. Ripple down. And then ripple up. So you're going to press your chest open. Fall forward. And roll up. Imagine both tailbone, sacrum, sit bones widening behind you. Chest widens in front of you. And sacrum, sit bones, pelvis wide behind you, chest forward. And rock yourself forward into a tabletop. Tuck the toes. Downward dog. Step forward. Roll up. Shoulder rolls times 2. And there you go. A 15-minute stretch. Nice and simple. Let me know how this goes for you, and I'll see you soon. All right, and now I'm back for my 5 gratitude moments of 2020. Okay, this is day 5. You have to really think through your days and find more things to be grateful for, which there's no shortage of that and never gets old. So my 5 today. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, practicing the access tools really consciously this year. So specifically, I want to be grateful for the workshop that I took, which was 10 days. It was called the Wave Makers. And it really connected with me to think of the quantum side of things, think of the energy of things, and think of how what we do impacts and is creating futures 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 years, 10 lifetimes from now. I'm really thinking about everything as waves and energy. And so, yes, oh my gosh. My sister Caitlin, for our deep conversations and not so deep conversations, I always love talking to my sister. She's 11 years younger than me, so she comes at things with such a different perspective, but also I'm learning so much from her, just her being part of this younger generation, and also me going through these processes. I think that even though she might not be aware of the teachings that are happening through me, she's going to get to be 32 and be like, oh yeah, I remember when Keisha was going through this, she talked about this. But so we have really deep conversations, and we're both learning from each other, and I love it. Even our not so deep conversations about TikTok, I learn things. My project manager for my solo, oh my goodness, Indigo, I love her. Such a huge weight off my shoulders, just having her there for me and taking things off my plate that the tedious things that would just take up so much of my time. She's there, she's on it, she's doing it. I'm so grateful for her. Healing conversations with clients, having those moments where I can ask them a question and they're just open to receiving, that they go through a little conversation that allows their body to release whatever it needs to release. It allows their mind to shift, and it allows for movement to happen in their body with ease. And it's also healing for me because I go through that process, and for them. So love those moments. And creating a stretch resource. Just having that inspiration to actually put how I speak about things and how I speak about stretching on somewhere for people to access it and take it with a perspective of the empowering tools for you or the viewer. So it's not about, doing 17 million sun salutations will make you better. It's about what's happening inside your brain. How are you cueing your body? How are you connecting with your body? How are you releasing and letting go and allowing yourself to experience movement in maybe a different way that I take for granted as a dancer sometimes. And having the inspiration to then share that with everybody has been really cool because I now get to share my inner thoughts about movement with people and then see how it helps them translate their movement and how they approach things is just really awesome. So like, thanks for the clients that were asking for it. Thanks for the inspiration from the universe that I got it. And then gratitude for like myself for getting my ass in gear, and my editor for helping me put it all together and on a platform for people to easily access anytime, anywhere in the world. So those are my 5 today. Let me know how that stretch goes. Let me know what you're grateful for today. Can't talk for today, and I will see you next time.